These are some of the gallstones that I've collected from my patients over the last few weeks. What you'll see is that they range in size from the very small to the really quite substantial. What you'd be interested perhaps to know though is that the amount of trouble that patients get is not determined on the number or the size or the shape. And in fact the patient who had these stones here had almost as much pain, if not more, than the person who had this single stone. So here's a case where size doesn't really matter. About 1 in 4 patients over the age of 70 will develop gallstones, though thankfully not all of them will actually have symptoms. Well, despite the difference, all of the stones arise in the same way. So, here's a quick biology lesson. I'd like you to meet my model, Dave. So, bile is produced by the liver, here shown in brown, and bile passes out of the liver down this duct here. In fact, it goes behind the stomach in pink here, but for the purposes of this demonstration, passes in front and opens out into the intestines just about here. Now there's a small offshoot coming off from the bile duct that goes into this gallbladder, which is about the size of half a lemon. And when you eat a fatty meal, there's a routine stimulus that causes this gallbladder to squeeze, and the bile comes down its little duct into the bile duct and down into the intestines, where it's ready to digest and absorb the fat that you've just eaten. Bile is a slightly sticky yellowish green fluid, and for some reason, and we don't know why in some people and not in others, little crystals can grow in this pool of sticky fluid within the gallbladder. And over years these crystals can grow and actually form stones. Now the problem is, as you remember, when the gallbladder squeezes, what can happen if you've got stones is that those stones can block the outlet of the gallbladder such that it's squeezing against an obstruction. And that's what causes the acute pain that we call biliary colic. After a patient has had lots of attacks of biliary colic, the gallbladder wall becomes thickened and inflamed, and the whole organ really ceases to work properly. And that's another reason that we need to consider recommending an operation.